Hey y'all, I want to teach you a new word today. Some of you may have heard this word before, but some of you may have never heard it, and you may or may not know what it means. The word is tarnish. And when something is tarnished, it means that it's not quite as shiny as it was before. When I think of the word tarnished, I think of something maybe that's metal, kind of like a coin, like a penny or a nickel or a dime. And when the older the penny is, the more it's gone from one hand to another hand. It gets dirty and it gets dull. Dull means it's not shiny. So dull and tarnished means about the same thing. And it's funny to think about us being like a penny. How can we be like a penny? So a penny could be shiny and new, or a penny could be dull and tarnished. Well, I know when I'm happy and all of my friends are treating me nicely and I'm treating everybody nicely, I know I feel all shiny. But if maybe me and my friend, we have a disagreement and I might say something that maybe I shouldn't, then I might feel tarnished. I might make them feel tarnished too. But the way that we can make our friends feel shiny and new is apologize. And when you apologize to somebody, you feel shiny and new again too. What if your mama asks you to do something and you tell her no? That's going to make mama sad. And when mama gets sad, you usually get sad. And so then both of you feel all dull and tarnished. But if you do what mama asks, mama's going to be happy. And then once you get finished, you'll be happy too. And you'll feel all shiny and new. So we can feel dull and tarnished like a coin. But we could also feel shiny and new like a coin. So always remember that. So we're going to do a science experiment. And what we're going to do is we're going to look at pennies. Oh, you think penny's penny. Well, some pennies look brand new. But some pennies don't. This one is all shiny, and it's kind of, I don't know, it's called copper. That's the kind of metal it is. It's called copper, so it's nice and shiny and copper. But the longer the penny, the older the penny gets, the more air that touches the penny, it does something that's a fancy word. It's called oxidation, and it changes the copper. It changes the color of the copper. So we're going to do an experiment and see if I can't turn this penny into a shiny penny like this one. Now, what you need is some salt, and I've already put my salt in here. It's about a teaspoon or so. And then you need some vinegar. Now, hopefully, this is called apple cider vinegar. Hopefully that's going to do the same as just regular vinegar. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour this vinegar in with the salt. And then, ooh, it kind of smells funny. Then I'm going to drop my pennies. I have more than just one of those pennies that's turned brown and oxidized. So I'm going to drop all my pennies in here. And I'm going to take a spoon. And I'm going to stir it up. Just to make sure that the salt is all mixed in real good with the vinegar. And we're going to let them soak for just a few minutes. And then we'll come back and we'll see how, oh, it looks like it's changing already, y'all. I don't know if y'all can see in here. But it looks like they might be changing already. The vinegar has some acid in it, and the acid kind of makes all the brown stuff fall off. So we'll come back to that in just a few minutes and we'll see how shiny they are, if they look brand new. Guess what? It worked. I put my pennies in the vinegar with salt and it worked. It turned my pennies all shiny and new. It got all of the tarnish off of them and now my pennies are shiny and new. So just remember, if you have any tarnish in your heart, or maybe you've caused a little tarnish in somebody else's heart, then you make sure that you make it right and you apologize and you make it. And here are our pennies. So this is the one, this is the really, really shiny one that I told you in the beginning. I showed it to you. It started off shiny. But my other pennies were tarnished. They were the ones that kind of looked black and maybe a little dark brown. And I polished them up and now they're shiny too. So just remember, you always want to be shiny and new. You want to get all that tarnish off. If you decide to do this experiment, if you and your family decide to do this experiment, try and talk your mama and daddy into giving you the pennies. If you make the pennies shiny and new, maybe you can keep some of those pennies. Ask them that question.